Hey everyone. To all my fellow Chinese seniors who've been grinding away in the US for decades, and to every brother and sister out there pinching pennies just hoping for a stable and peaceful retirement, listen up. I'm not here asking for likes or shares today. There's only one thing I beg of you. Right now, this second, put down that vegetable you're chopping, stop washing those dishes, set aside the TV remote, and go check every single one of your bank account balances. Every account tied to your money, checking accounts, savings accounts, certificates of deposit, CDs, don't miss a single one. I know what some of you are thinking. What in gotten into her? She'd all worked up, like the sky is falling. Let me tell you straight, this is worse than the sky falling, because today is already late December. And we'm just days, maybe even hours, away from the midnight bell that will decide if you can keep your respo in January, 下午11点59分, on December 30, Jan 1st. I would be sounding the alarm like this if it was urgent. Last night, something happened that still twists my stomach thinking about it, and why I have to share this with you all. My phone rang out of the blue in the middle of the night. When I picked up, I heard an elderly man's voice trembling with tears. I recognized him right away. Was Uncle Liu from California, a loyal listener who'd been following me for nearly 5 years. Uncle Liu is 75 years old, living with his wife, and they've never had an easy life. The only income they rely on is their monthly Supplemental Security Income, or SSI. As many of SSI benefits are barely enough to scrape by. A couple pinches every penny. When they go grocery shopping, they only look at the sale tags on the bottom shelf, grabbing whatever RED is counted. Sometimes they'll pick up blemished apples from the clearance bin, peel off the damaged parts, and eat them. Their clothes are worn year after year, patched up over and over. Days never buy anything new. With the holidays approaching, their kids, knowing how tough their parents have it, sent them a few $100s as a holiday gift. Adding that to the little nest egg they'd squeezed out bit by bit over the year, money they'd saved for their final years. AE bank account balance quietly climbed to $3,500. Uncle Liu was thrilled, telling his wife they might finally replace their old refrigerator, which had been making noise like a tractor for over a decade, and buy her a new winter jacket for the upcoming cold weather. But their joy didn't last long. A letter from the Social Security Administration, SA, arrived at their door. When Uncle Liu opened it, his legs went weak, and his wife burst into tears. The letter stated clearly, due to your resources exceeding the statutory limit, your SSI benefits for January will be suspended and you may be required to repay previously overpaid benefits. Can you imagine? Years of scrimping and saving, hoping to improve their lives, only for that money to become a death sentence for their next month's livelihood? Uncle Liu told me. He was shaking as he held the letter, confused about what he'd done wrong and terrified of how they'd get by. We talked for over an hour. I sat with him in his grief, sighing alongside him, and slowly walked him through the rules, letting him know there was still time to fix it. Dan, why I'm speaking to every SSI recipient today with the utmost urgency. I need to make sure you all understand this clearly. For most of us, December 30, Jan 1st is just a night to celebrate the new year, set off fireworks, and gather with family. For the sky, it did their computer systems run the year gen end, final telling you the due gen day deadline for your benefits on this date. If the total value of your bank account balances, cash hidden at home and other miscellaneous assets, exceeds that cold, unforgiving threshold, $2,000 for individuals, $3,000 for couples, being by $1, even by 10 cents, your January benefits will vanish instantly. Put on without a second chance. I'm sure some of you are skeptical. Is she exaggerating? Could it really be that strict? I promise you this is no scare tactic. This is a tragic reality that plays out in countless Chinese families every year. Over the years, through my community work, I've seen at least 80 to 100 elderly people lose their SSI benefits because their assets exceeded the limit. Some got holiday money from their kids, some saved a little for medical emergencies, others just didn't know what counted as an asset and crossed the line without realizing it. Take Aunt Zhang from New York, for example. Her story is almost identical to Uncle Liu. Her kids sent her a few $1,000s for the holidays at the end of the year, pushing her account over the limit. She could just withdraw the extra money, and spend it. So she did, but she did keep any receipts. When the SSI reviewed her case and asked where the money went, she had no proof to show. In the end, not only were her benefits suspended, but she was also accused of fraud and ordered to repay all the benefits she received, nearly $10,000 total. It broke her heart and she cried for days. Others might wonder, what if I withdraw the money and hide it at home or send it to my kids? Let me tell you, these little tricks are useless against the SSI and big data. The Zhang uses the Financial Institution Access AFI system, which is connected to every bank in the country. They know exactly how many accounts you have and how much money is in each, better than you do yourself. Hiding cash at home might lower your bank balance, but when they review your case next year, they'd ask for a detailed explanation of where that money went. No receipts. They'd assume you're hiding it and you'd still be considered over the limit. The money to your kids is even worse that and called a transfer of resources for less than fair market value. Jed like telling Masankai, I have money to give away so I don't need your help. Not only will you lose your benefits, but you'll also be fined and have your SSI suspended for months. The cost far outweighs the solution. That's why I made this extra Zen-long video today to walk you through exactly what to do if your assets are over the limit or close to it in these final days. I teach you how to spend the money legally, what purchases are safe and valuable, what are considered illegal, why giving money to your kids is a suicide move, and why paying off debt is your lifeline. Every word of this video is about your wallet, about whether you can live comfortably next year. Grab a notebook and take notes or save this video and watch it again and again. Let's launch our year-end asset defense battle right now. Before we get into the practical steps of spending down your assets, I need to pull back the curtain on this policy so you fully understand why the US government is so unforgiving and why our Chinese virtue of frugality becomes evidence of rule and breaching here. First, I need to clarify a concept that 99% of seniors mix up. SSI is not Social Security retirement benefits. Many of you have complained to me, I worked hard in the US for decades, paid taxes my whole life, or I got my green card. Isn't this money mine by right? Why do they care how much I save? My dear friends, you must understand the difference. Social Security retirement benefits are your pension savings money you earned by paying taxes during your working years, like an insurance policy you bought for yourself. Did your personal property, no matter if you have $1 million or $10 million in the bank, if you drive a Ferrari or a Rolls-Royce, the government has to send you your monthly retirement check. You earn that money, and it has nothing to do with how many assets you own. SSI is a completely different program. SSI stands for Supplemental Security Income, being funded by federal taxes, designed as a lifeline for people who are elderly, disabled, or extremely poor, with no other way to cover basic living expenses. The logic behind SI is simple. If you're penniless and can't even afford food, the government steps in to help. But once they find out you have extra money in the bank or cash on hand, their logic flips. Oh, so you do have money. Spend your own first. And when you're broke again, come back for help. That's why the asset limit exists. Dooney is sure this money goes to the people who truly need it the most. Speaking of this asset limit, it makes my blood boil. Do you know when the $2,000 limit for individuals and $3,000 limit for couples was set in 1989? That in 35 years ago, folks. What could $2,000 buy in 1989? Let me share some data I researched. The average home price in the US in 1989 was around $120,000. $2,000 could buy a little over half a square meter of a house. The average monthly rent back then was just over $400. $2,000 could cover 5 months of rent. Gasoline cost only 50 cents per liter. $2,000 could buy 4,000 liters of gas, enough to drive a car for over a year. Forward to 2025, and U.S. prices have skyrocketed. Take California, for example. In big cities like San Francisco and Los Angeles, monthly rent easily hits $2,000 or more. $2,000 can't even cover 1 month of rent. Gasoline is nearly $3 per liter now. $2,000 only buys about 7 liters of gas. A single trip to the grocery store buying a little meat and fruit cost over $100. In 5 years, prices have multiplied several times over. Gas, prices, rent, food costs. MID's SSI benefit amounts have been adjusted for inflation multiple times. Back in 1980, the monthly SSI check was 370 Gen 4 US dollars. By 2020 Gen 5, it did climb to 940 Gen 3 US dollars. More than double, but that asset limit is still stuck at the 1980 level, not a single dollar increase. This is the cruelty of the U.S. welfare system. It forces SSI recipients to stay in extreme poverty. Want to save a little for a dental crown? No. Want to put aside money for a grandchild and birthday gift? Know what to have an emergency fund for unexpected expenses? Absolutely not. Cross that asset line, and your benefits are gone. It's a day like a curse trapping people in a cycle of poverty with no way to climb out. Many of you might ask, how does the cat even know how much money I have? Can't I just spend the extra before the end of the month? Herein a key concept you need to understand. The month, Zend snapshot, at midnight on the last day of every month. Exactly. 上午12 on the first day of the next month, T-Sini computer system takes a photo of your financial situation. Whatever amount shows up in that photo determines if you qualify for SI the next month. Let me give you two real Gen life scenarios to make this clear. Scenario A. You receive $1,000 US from your kids on December 15th, pushing your account balance to $4,000 US, way over the limit. But you know the rules, so on December 20 Gen ETH, you use that money to repair your car and buy a new household appliance. Midnight on December 30 Gen 1st. Your account balance is back to $1,000 US. Are in the clear. A Scanger snapshot shows you're under the limit, and your January benefits will arrive as usual. Scenario B. Same as before, you get $1,000 US on December 15th, balance hits $4,000 US. You think, just spend it after New Year in, so you leave it in the account. When the system takes the snapshot at midnight, on December 30 Gen 1st, your balance is still $4,000 US. You're doomed. The system will automatically deny your January benefits for having $4,000 US in resources. No negotiations, no exceptions. That why December 30 Gen 1st is a due Gen deadline. It did not just about celebrating the new year. Again, the critical point that determines your eligibility for the first month of the new year and possibly the entire year. A bad year Gen snapshot can ruin your whole year. If your January benefits are suspended and with holiday expenses piling up, you could easily end up without money for food or medical care. This is no joke. Now that you understand why you need to spend down your assets before December 30 Gen 1st, let's tackle the most important question. What counts as resources, assets in the SNI eyes, and what does not? This is where most seniors trip up. Many people cross the line without realizing certain things count as assets only to lose their benefits. Today I lay out the red lines you must never cross and the safe havens you can rely on. Memorize these. The gay could save your benefits first. Let me go over the 7 red lines you must avoid at all cost. These 7 things are always counted toward your asset total. You need to handle them before December 30 Jan 1st or you risk going over the limit. Red line, cash. This is the most dangerous of all. Many seniors think hiding cash at home is safer than keeping it in the bank or that the SD won't find it. Let me tell you, this is the dumbest move you can make. If the Shanghai audits you any large amount of cash you can explain or cash they discover will be counted as an asset. Hiding cash is risky. It can be stolen, lost, or destroyed in a fire or flood. Once it's gone, there ain't no way to get it back. Take Uncle Liu from Chicago, for example. He hid over $3,000 US saved over 2 years. His mattress. A burglar broke in and stole it all. Not only did he lose his savings, but he also risked his SSI benefits by hiding the cash in the first place. He regretted it more than anything. Red line are bank deposits. This includes checking accounts, savings accounts, seeds, and even money market accounts. Your name is on the account, whether it a single account or a joint account with family's entire amount is almost always counted as your asset, unless you have ironclad proof the money isn't yours, like a formal loan agreement, gift letter, and documentation of the money and source and nearly impossible to dispute. Don't get complacent thinking a joint account will help you avoid detection. SSI will find it every time. Red lines send investments like stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. No exceptions here. ESTUMI counts the full current market value of all investments in your name. Even low generous bonds or regular mutual fund contributions are included. Uncle Wang from Houston learned this the hard way. He thought he could earn a little extra money by investing $1,000 in a low gen risk fund, since his SSI check was so small. When the funder value was added to his other assets, he went over the limit. His benefits were suspended for 3 months, and he had to sell the fund at a loss of several $100s. It was a classic case of trying to gain a little but losing a lot. Red line says cash surrender value shizabue of life insurance. This is a huge trap. So many seniors fall for it. If you have a whole life insurance policy, not just term life insurance, with a face value over $1,500, the CSBI amount you do get if you surrendered the policy counts as an asset. Many seniors buy whole life insurance to leave a legacy for their kids, but end up losing their SI benefits while they're still alive. You on SSI and have life insurance, check the CSI immediately. If it's close to pushing you over the limit, either surrender the policy and spend the money, or switch to a term life policy with no cash value. And don't let this trap ruin your benefits. Red line, second vehicle. Exempts one vehicle you use for daily living, no matter if it's new or old, cheap or expensive, as long as you use it for grocery shopping, doctor appointments, or other daily needs. It doesn't count as an asset. If you own a second car keen, if it a broken gen-down clunker sitting in your garage, Shigani will count its market value toward your limit. On sale from Seattle had an old car, and her son bought her a new one. She didn't get around to selling the old car, and a year again it was valued at $500. Adding that too, her bank balance pushed her over the $2,000 limit for individuals. Her benefits were suspended until she sold the old car at a steep discount. Red line Liu, real estate overseas. Many immigrant seniors still own property in their home countries. This is a major risk. If the property is not your primary residence, and since you live in the US it can be, and you have the right to sell it, the SSI will count its full market value as an asset. It does not matter if the house is empty, rented out, or even if you think the US government can find it. It uses international information, sharing agreements to track overseas assets. Uncle Ken from Boston owned an old house in China worth around $200,000. He could hide it, but the SAK found out through cross-border data sharing. He was not only cut off from SSI, but also ordered to repay tens of thousands of dollars in previously received benefits. The stress sent him to the hospital. Red line, Chi. Gift cards. This surprises most people. Holiday gift cards from your kids, Costco cards, Walmart cards, even Visa prepaid cards, considered cash equivalents by the estate if they can be used to buy food, clothing, or other essentials. Although SSI might not track every single gift card, if you have multiple cards adding up to several $100s, you could be cited for violating the asset limit. Aunt Zhang from Philadelphia received over $600 in gift cards from her kids at year's end. She didn't think much of it, but during an SANA review the cards were discovered. Her benefits were suspended for a month, and she had to use up all the cards to get back under the limit. We've covered the red lines. Let's talk about the safe havens assets. The pie doesn't count. These are the safe investments you can make with your extra money, knowing they won't affect your SSI eligibility. Spend freely. Here, your benefits are protected. Safe haven, your primary residence. This is the most important safe haven of all. No matter if your house is worth $100,000 or $2 million, it your main home, the place you live full and time. Whether you own it outright or have a mortgage, the Kame doesn't count it as an asset. Even $1 million house won't affect your SSI, so if you have extra money, use it to repair or upgrade your home, fix a leaky roof, replace old windows, install new carpet. You'd spend down your assets and improve your living environment. Win-win haven. are one vehicle for personal use. As I mentioned earlier, the SMPay exempts one car used for daily living. Doesn't matter if it's a Toyota, Honda, or a luxury Mercedes, Civ. It's your main mode of transportation for groceries. Doctor and visits or visiting family, Iki not counted. If your car is old, unsafe, or unreliable, use your extra money to buy a new one. Yichu legal keeps you safe, and it a smart way to spend down assets, haven sen, household goods, and personal belongings. This includes furniture, appliances, computers, clothes, and jewelry. Mints one exception, extremely valuable investment. Grade items like expensive antiques, famous paintings, or diamond jewelry worth tens of thousands of dollars. Everyday items like your wedding ring, gold necklace, or earrings are exempt. If your mattress is sagging, your sofa is broken, or your washing machine leaks, replace them. Upgrade your TV, buy a new computer, or refresh your wardrobe. These purchases are safe and improve your quality of life. Havens, burial plots, and irrevocable funeral contracts. This is a crucial safe haven for SI recipients, and I've dived deeper into it in the practical steps section. Simply put, if you buy an irrevocable funeral contract covering a casket, burial plot, funeral services, and transportation, teasing money you spend is no longer counted as an asset. Even if you spend $10,000 or $20,000, the set ignores it. That a smart way to spend down large sums, relieve your kids of funeral costs, and protect your benefits. Havened. Well, medical equipment for personal use, wheelchairs, hearing aids, dentures, ventilators, blood glucose monitors, any equipment used to treat or manage a medical condition is exempt. Many seniors on SSI have chronic illnesses, and investing in these tools improves health and quality of life. The Sanka fully supports these purchases. Uncle Zal from Atlanta, for example, used his extra money to buy a high-end quality hearing aid. Not only did he get under the asset limit, but he could finally hear clearly again, making conversations with family and friends much easier. To drive these rules home and help you avoid mistakes, I want to share 3 real Gen life horror stories from my 20 years of community work. These are all true events. Learn from them so you don't repeat the same mistakes. First story, Grandma Lai, 78 years old, living alone in Queens, New York. Grandma Lai being lifelong habit with saving money. She always said, having money in the bank gives you peace of mind. Every month, after buying discounted groceries and essential supplies, she saved every extra dollar in a savings account. She hoped to have emergency funds for medical bills or her grandson's wedding. For years, she saved $50 a month, building her balance to just over $1,900. The Asange only checked her checking account, where her blanket SI was deposited, and ignored the savings account. She was wrong. Last December, bank interest pushed her savings account balance to $2,100 over the limit. In January, when her SSI check didn't arrive, she was confused. When the sting letter came, her benefits were suspended and she owed over $5,000 in overpaid benefits from the past 6 months. Grandma Lai fainted when she read the letter and was rushed to the hospital by a neighbor. For the sake of $100 in interest, she lost over $5,000 in lifeline benefits. It was a devastating loss. The lesson here: never hide any account from the CKI. The AFI system connects to every financial institution. They know about every account in your name. A checking, savings, scale count. Don't the gamble on getting away with it. The risk is never worth the reward. Second story. Uncle Zhang, living in Los Angeles with his wife, as a couple. Their asset limit was $3,000. Last December, he realized his bank account had $4,000. December 30, Jan 1st, approaching. He panicked. He thought, if I can keep the money, I'd give it to my grandson as a New Year gift. He transferred $2,000 to his grandson account, bringing his balance to $2,000, right at the limit. He thought he was safe. 3 months later, an SNI caseworker showed up, asking about the 2 Gens uns and Gen dollar transfer on December 20, Gen 8th. Uncle San told the truth. See, it was a gift for his grandson. The caseworker coldly explained that this was a transfer of resources for less than fair market value. By giving away money, he proved he didn't need SSI the punishment. His benefits were suspended for nearly 3 months, worth over $2,000, calculated by dividing the transferred amount by the monthly SSI rate. Uncle Zhang regretted it deeply. He wished he spent the money on household items instead. This is a critical lesson. Never give away money, whether it's cash or a bank transfer to kids, grandkids, or anyone else, without receiving equivalent goods or services. Seen a forbidden asset transfer. Many Chinese seniors want to spoil their grandchildren, but under SI rules, this is a serious violation. Remember, giving money away costs you more in the long run. Third story, Aunt Zhang, living in Dallas, Texas, and receiving SSI. Last year, a distant relative sent her $1,500 in support. As a loyal viewer of my videos, Aunt Zhang knew the rules. She could give the money away or hide it. Instead, she took 3 smart steps to fix the problem. First, she'd been missing a tooth for years. Her dental insurance didn't cover implants, and it made eating and talking difficult. Prepaid $1,000 for implant surgery, getting a formal invoice. And her refrigerator, used for 15 years, noisy, inefficient, and bad at keeping food cold, was replaced with a new energy, Zen-efficient model for $400 with a receipt. Third, she bought a urine supply of non-perishable groceries and household items, rice, oil, toilet paper, laundry detergent, from Costco for $100, keeping all the receipts. By December 30, Jan 1st, her account balance was safely under the limit. During the Cyan review, she showed the dental invoice, appliance receipt, and grocery sale piao. The caseworker confirmed. These were reasonable living expenses, no issues. Wang kept her benefits, fixed her tooth, and upgraded her refrigerator. Her quality of life improved and she stayed compliant. This is how you do it right. The lesson here is clear. Turn paper assets into tangible quality of life. Spend the money on yourself, on necessary expenses that make your life better. Do legal smart and rewarding. Now let's get to the most critical part, the step 10 step action plan. With only days left until December 30, Jan 1st, if your assets are over the limit, follow this legal spending list. Spend down strategy. To the letter. Every item is approved. You can execute with confidence. First priority, pay off debt. This is the Askayan most approved way to spend money. Paying off debt reduces your liabilities, not increases your assets, and fully complies with the rules. I'll pay off credit cards. If you have credit card debt, if it not due yet, pay it off in full immediately. Turning cash into paid soft bills lowers your asset total and saves you from interest charges. For example, if you're single with $3,000 in your account, $1,000 over the limit, and $1,000 in credit card debt, paying off the debt brings your balance to $2,000 right at the limit. Perfect. Repay personal loans. If you borrowed money from family or friends with a formal loan agreement, repay it now. But follow these rules. Use a check or bank transfer. Never cash. Cash leaves no paper trail. Write repayment of loan in the memo line and keep both the original loan agreement and the transfer receipt. These documents prove it's a repayment, not a gift. Aunt Fee from Miami did this. She repaid $1,500 to her sister with a formal agreement and transfer records. A review found no issues. Settle outstanding bills. Pay off any overdue utility bills, property taxes, internet bills, or phone bills. Prepay them if possible. These are mandatory expenses. Paying them early spends down assets and avoids late fees. For example, if you owe $500 in back utilities and are $500 over the asset limit, paying the bill brings you back to compliance. And effective, if you have no debt left or still have money after repaying debt, move to the second priority. Prepay future necessary expenses. Paying for next year in costs now spends down assets and eases financial stress later, i.e. prepay rent. Talk to your landlord about prepaying next month's rent or even 6 months. Get a formal receipt stating prepaid rent for January, June, 2026 or whatever period you choose. Most landlords welcome prepayment. To get guaranteed income. And you get to spend down assets. Prepaying rent not only solves your asset problem but also gives you peace of mind knowing your housing is covered. Our prepay insurance premiums. Most insurance companies, auto, home, supplemental health, let you pay annual premium upfront and offer discounts for doing so, usually 10 to 15% off. Prepaying a year in auto insurance for $1,200, for example, spends down assets and saves you $120 to $180 in discounts. A win? Again, win for your wallet and your SI eligibility. SAN, prepay utilities, and internet. Many utility companies let you build a credit balance in your account. You can deposit several hundred or even $1,000, and future bills will be deducted from this balance. For example, if your monthly utilities and internet cost $200, depositing $2,000 covers 10 months of bills. You'd avoid service disruptions and spend down assets safely. If you still have money after prepaying future expenses, move to the third priority. Improve your quality of life by buying necessary household items and services. This is the most enjoyable part. Spend money on yourself, upgrade your life, and stay compliant. Buy large household appliances. If your refrigerator, washing machine, dryer, dishwasher, or TV is old, inefficient, or broken, replace it. An old noisy refrigerator wastes energy and fails to keep food fresh. A new energy gen efficient model saves money on electricity and works better. A broken washing machine makes laundry a chore. Upgrade to a front-end loading, easy, gentle, use model. Choose appliances with large buttons, simple controls, or smart features like delayed start that are senior-cent friendly. Words spend down assets and make daily life easier. R. Replace furniture. Mattresses and sofas are especially important for senior health. A sagging mattress causes back pain and poor sleep. Invest in a memory foam or latex mattress that supports your body. A low, hard sofa makes it hard to stand up. Buy a lift chair that gently raises you to a standing position. Replace damaged dining tables, wobbly chairs, or worn gen-out dressers. These purchases are necessary. ACA, gen approved, and improve your comfort. SAN, purchase electronics. Technology can greatly enhance your retirement. Buy a new smartphone with a large screen, loudspeakers, and easy, gentle use apps perfect for video calls with family overseas. New computer lets you browse the internet, read news, and stay connected. Smart speaker like Amazon Echo or Google Home lets you control music, check the weather, or listen to opera with voice commands. No complicated buttons. Uncle Liu from Phoenix bought a new iPad. Now he video chats with his grandson in China every day and looks at photos his family sends. It brought him so much joy. C. Home repairs and modifications. Fix any damage to your home. Leaky roofs, which cause mold and furniture damage, drafty windows, which waste energy and make your home uncomfortable, cracked walls or dirty carpets, which harbor bacteria and dust mites. Install senior gen-friendly modifications, grab bars in the bathroom, to prevent falls, non-gan slip mats, stair lifts for mobility issues, or ramps for wheelchairs or walkers. These repairs make your home safer and more comfortable. DSUNI fully supports them. For example, spending $800 to fix a roof and install bathroom grab bars not only spends down assets but also protects your health and safety. Car repairs and maintenance. Your car is your legs in the U.S., especially in areas with poor public transportation. Your tires are worn, brakes are faulty, engine makes strange noises, or air conditioning doesn't work. Get a full service. Plate tires, brakes, and oil. Fix the AC or heating. These repairs keep you safe on the road and spend down assets. For example, spending $700 on new tires and a brake replacement brings you under the limit and ensures you can drive safely to doctor appointments and grocery stores. Low stock up on non-GAM perishable supplies. While food and clothing can be sensitive under SI rules, reasonable stockpiling is allowed. Buy year-end supply of household essentials, toilet paper, laundry, detergent, shampoo, toothpaste, and soap. These last indefinitely. Stock up on non-GAM perishable foods, rice, flour, cooking oil, canned goods, dried beans, and pasta, buy warm winter coats, comfortable shoes, and soft underwear, necessary items that won't be flagged as violations. This way, you avoid future price hikes and have supplies on hand if you can't leave home. Medical and health services predicts. Many medical services are not covered or are undercovered by Med et Medi-Gen Call in California. Use your extra money for dental work, implants, crowns, deep cleanings, eye care, progressive lenses, blue gen light glasses, hearing aids or mobility aids, walkers, canes. Buy health equipment like massage chairs, foot spas, or physical therapy devices to manage pain and improve mobility. These purchases are not only legal but also critical for your health. For example, spending $3,000 on a dental implant solves your asset problem and lets you eat normally again, needing an investment in your quality of life. If you've done all of the above and still have extra money, they're in one final foolproof option. Buy an irrevocable funeral contract. I know talking about death is taboo in Chinese culture, but this is the most responsible choice for you and your family and the most effective way to spend down large sums. Contact a local funeral home to purchase a prepaid funeral plan. Typically includes a casket, burial plot, cremation, burial services, body transportation, and a memorial service. The key requirement, the contract must be irrevocable, meaning you can get the money back. Den reserved exclusively for your funeral. Once signed, the Singa no longer counts this money as an asset. If it 10,000 or 20,000 US dollars. Alternatively, you can set aside 1,500 US dollars in a bank account as burial funds, money designated for your funeral. There are strict rules. This amount is in addition to your asset limit. So 2,000 plus 1,500 equals 3,500 US dollars for individuals. 3,000 plus 1,500 equals 4,500 US dollars for couples. If you use the money for anything other than funeral expenses, like groceries or medicine, you'll be fined and lose benefits. The interest earned on the fund also counts as an asset. For these reasons, an irrevocable funeral contract is safer and more reliable for large sums. Before we wrap up, I need to emphasize 3 final deadly mistakes you must never make. Cross these lines, and no one can save your benefits. You'll face penalties and possibly legal consequences. Mistake E. Never give money away, whether it's a transfer to your kids, a cash gift to your grandchild, or a donation to a church. Any gift without equivalent value is an asset transfer. The Sakai will suspend your benefits, fine you, and make you repay overpaid benefits. Uncle Liu's story is proof. Don't repeat it. Mistake R. Never buy investments. Gold bars, coins, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, rental properties, or buy Tom. These are all still assets, just in different forms. Your total asset value won't decrease and you'd still be over the limit. For example, converting 3,000 US dollars in cash to gold doesn't change the fact that you have 3,000 US dollars in assets. No will still cut your benefits. Mistake a sen, never withdraw cash and hide it. This is fraud by omission. The scam will ask for proof of how you spent the money. No receipts. If that assume you're hiding cash, count it as an asset and charge you with fraud. Consequences include permanent benefit suspension, repayment of all past benefits, and even legal action that could affect your immigration status. Risk it. I know this video is long, and I appreciate you sticking with me. I would take so much of your time if this was life can change him. I know our Chinese seniors are hardworking and frugal. Saving money is ingrained in us. It is how we survive tough times. Asking you to spend money quickly sounds absurd, even painful. But when you're living under the Sngingen rules, you have to play by their game. Otherwise, you'd lose the benefits you rely on. The Sngingen game is simple. You must be truly broke or have turned your money into necessary living expenses to keep your benefits. Instead of keeping cash in the bank, worrying about crossing the line and losing everything, turn that money into a new tooth, a quiet refrigerator, a safe car, or a comfortable home. This is a Nook Wait Team Cassette conversion. It does smart survival in a system that doesn't as reward frugality. And we have only days left until December 30, Jan 1st. Here in my heartfelt plea, tonight right after this video, check every single one of your bank accounts. Let's calculate all your assets, cash accounts, investments, everything. Uber the limit tomorrow morning, grab your ID and bank card and start spending. Go to the grocery store, the dental clinic, the appliance store, the auto shop, take care of what you need. Most importantly, keep every single receipt, invoice, and contract. These are your get out of jail free cards during C-Refying reviews, and throw them away. Now, I want to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Do you think the 2,000 dollar, 3,000 dollar asset limit is outdated? Today, again, inflationary economy, what do you think a fair limit would be? If you or someone, lost SI benefits because of these rules, share your stories. They could help other seniors avoid the same mistakes. If this video helped you, if it just saved you 1 month of benefits, please give it a like and share it with every SI recipient. On dates, let a simple mistake ruin someone's retirement. I'm here to be your life advisor, fighting for our Chinese seniors to live peacefully and comfortably in the US. Now, go take action. Time is running out. I'd see you in the next video. Happy New Year, everyone. May your accounts stay safe and your benefits stay steady.